Well, in another case of go woke, go broke, Dragon Age the Veilguard has now been confirmed to be a bomb. We said it was a bomb. I remember doing videos on it, and people were like, "It's not a bomb! You don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, objectively, it's a failure. We can all see that it was objectively a failure. There was obviously a lot of fans of Dragon Age that chose to go, la la la, not listening. But yeah, it's a failure. It is what it is. But it's now been confirmed. So Dragon Age the Veilguard tanking sales force EA to shift revenue forecast. Huh. Well, that confirms it's a bomb then, doesn't it? Probably shouldn't have put all that weird non-binary nonsense in there, to be honest. Or, the double mastectomy scars that you could put on your character. No one wants to play this shit. It's just weird, mate. It's weird. It's really, really weird. It's actually quite insidious, I think, to be honest. Promoting that to children, but alright. And I say children. Yeah, I know adults play it, blah, 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 blah. But still, point remains. It's insidious. So we're going to take a look at this, because it's bombed spectacularly. And this is just another long list, or another in the long list of video games that are bombing at the moment. So, yeah, hit subscribe if you're new here. Please do. Definitely hit subscribe if you're a returning viewer. Because I can see you guys. You do keep coming back. Turn that subscribe button on. But anyway, let's take a look. It's just mental. All this is mental, to be honest. So EA is facing a grim financial outlook as the company slashes its revenue forecast for the current fiscal year. The gaming giant pointed to the underperformance in sales for EA Sports FC 25 and Dragon Age the Veilguard as key factors. So they confirm it themselves. So if you think that it's not a failure, take it up with EA, mate, because they're saying it's a failure. So while the official narrative blames a post-holiday sales slump and unmet player engagement goals, what does that mean? Industry insiders and fans have begun to question if EA's prioritization of identity politics and gender narratives might be steering its flagship franchises off a cliff. You think? So, released in October, Dragon Age the Veilguard has fallen shockingly short of sales expectations. According to EA, the game engaged roughly 1.5 million players during the 3-month period ending December 31st, 2024. Nearly half of what the company anticipated. Nearly half. I mean, that is a shockingly low amount by comparison to what they wanted. That's really bad. I'm also surprised they expected 3 million, to be honest, but alright. So EA initially projected that the game would sell upwards of 10 million copies over its life cycle. I don't understand why they thought that, because they already confirmed they weren't doing any additional content. So there's nothing to make the game live on. It's a one and done. Yeah, weird. It has to be something truly special for a game to live on like that. Right? I don't get it. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. So, that now seems increasingly unlikely, obviously, especially given the turmoil at Bioware, the studio responsible for Dragon Age series. So, adding to the storm, the Veilguard's director, Corin Bush, left Bioware earlier this month, claiming that the move was voluntary. However, there is speculation swirling whether the exit is tied to the game's failure. Probably. Under Bush's leadership, Dragon Age the Veilguard leaned heavily into progressive themes, with storylines and characters that many players criticised as ham-fisted attempts to cater to identity politics. The focus, according to some fans, came at the expense of the deep, immersive world building. I remember doing videos on the they-them lecture, the they-them lectures they were doing in the game. Really weird stuff, man. Just wholly unnecessary. But, it's not really a surprise if you look at this being the game director. Black Lives Matter always annoys me. They've been proven to be con artists. Come on now. I guess the only good thing about these wildfires is that Patrice Colliers, or whatever her name is, one of her mansions burned down. Ha! Good. Meanwhile, EA Sports FC 25, the company's rebranded soccer simulation game, after losing the FIFA license, has also struggled to meet expectations. EA reported a slowdown in sales during the holiday season, which is a crucial period for gaming revenue. The company has scrambled to address player concerns, recently rolling out the franchise's most significant mid-season gameplay overhaul to date, while EA claims that feedback on the updates has been encouraging. Encouraging. If it was good, you'd just be like, yeah, the feedback's been great. You wouldn't, like, this is them trying to sell it. It's been encouraging. Oh, fucking that's bad. It hasn't been enough to offset the game's disappointing performance. That's really bad. If you can't even spin it to yourselves, Jesus. So EA has revised its net booking projections for the fiscal year down to 7 to 7.15 billion from an earlier range of 7.5 to 7.8 billion. It's not mad. Well, that's quite big, to be fair. That is still quite big. Nearly $1 billion if you're looking at the low end. You know, 800 million. CEO Andrew Wilson tried to put a positive spin on the situation, touting a return to growth in fiscal year 2026 as EA prepares to launch more major titles. However, the current year paints a troubling picture for the company. I mean, ultimately, this could have been avoided. You know? So, more fuel to the fire. Bioware future looks increasingly uncertain. Smash JT's source claims that EA is planning to shut down Bioware's Edmonton headquarters, further solidifying suspicions that the studio's best days are behind it. Once renowned for its RPG masterpieces like Mass Effect and Dragon Age Origins, Bioware now seems like a shadow of its former self, which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it basically is, isn't it? EA's admission of the failure has also forced the game's journalism industry to finally acknowledge Veilguard's failure, with headlines popping up on sites like IGN, which initially rated the game a 9 out of 10. I mean, this is bad, yeah. I mean, they were trying to gaslight everyone to be like, no, it's a massive success. It's not. It's not a massive success. It's a huge failure, admitted to by EA. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they wanted nearly 3 million players. What are you doing, you clowns? And this is bombed on Steam. I remember tracking it on Steam. It was just dying steadily, week on, week out. It was just going less and less and less and less. And that's what happens when you know, the game's not particularly good. You know, people aren't particularly enjoying the game, put off by this kind of stuff. And remember, people were put off even buying it to begin with, but then they play it, then they're put off, and then you're not producing additional content. So the people that were playing it have finished it, and they're not playing it anymore. So yeah, it was always going to die. I don't understand how they thought this would go on for years and years and years. This will be dead, like, in no time. But there you go, confirmed. It is a bomb. Let me know what you think down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.